The history of the Southern Jalgar praying mantis Kung Fu dates back to the Southern Shaolin Monastery of southern China. The name of the founder was Zhao An'am. He spent many years in the Shaolin Monastery developing this system. The top Shaolin monks at that time gave Zhao An'am the full cooperation to develop this system. He harnessed the hidden powers of the body through the vast range of training exercises that became unique to the southern praying mantis. The form that you see here was to stimulate the Geng or shock powers. Developing this inch force power, one has to undergo a training program with all the conditioning exercises that go along with this system. This exercise is called Yukio Chaisel. Its aim is to develop the legs, arms and the trunk of the body. One such exercise, Doizhong, is a two-man training that develops one's sensitivity, strength, balance and footwork. When you have gone through such exercises, then you condition your body with hitting exercises. Here is Big Boy. This is taught when your gum gong or golden bell or iron shirt cover, as is known in English, is developed to a sufficient standard. Gao Choi is a hand-hitting exercises and is the first part of Ditch Sa Jern or iron palm. No system is complete without the knowledge of knowing how and where to hit, and the Jalgar praying mantis Kung Fu teaches those vital aspects. Now let's take a look at the first exercise called Pokjern, using the palms. From a close-up view, using the Pokjern, you can see that the heel of the palm is used to strike. And again, a close-up view, the heel of the palm is used in this particular exercise. So two people, again practicing this particular technique, using your palms continuously. to develop the power into the hands or into the palm. And with the same technique, this can be done single hand, using both partners use their right hand or right palm to strike. Now let's take a look at Gaochuo, which is hammer hand technique. Now we're going to show you how to close the fist into a phoenix eye fist, which is known as Fungang. First, the last three fingers come in with the foreknuckle protruding, using the heel of the palm to strike with your Gaochuo. This is the fist that's used. Slowly we can see as the hand comes over, strike down, left hand comes over, strikes down. This is a continuous type of practice to develop your power into your Gaochuo and also condition your palms. Hand comes over your head, drops down onto your opponent's palm. Hand comes over your head and drops down into your opponent's palm. This is a continuous procedure, and we can see that the hand that's hitting is also the leading leg hand. So in other words, you've got your right hand hitting, then your right leg is forward. And as you can see in the picture, the Gaochuo has been struck by two students. This is a continuous practice, leading hand to leading leg. The third conditioning is the forearm practice, developing your forearms. Using your forearms, strike down, your left hand comes across, crashes in the inside, outside, inside, inside, and then back on the outside. Inside, inside again, and come down. This is a basic way of doing this particular technique. Comes up and comes down. Consists of 3 movements. Comes up and then comes down. Comes up, then comes down. Continuous practice of this particular technique. Comes up and then comes down. Now see a close-up of the second level of this particular exercise, conditioning exercise. This would be explained later on, but you can see that there's a slight difference in the technique involved. There's more of a drilling action with your hands, especially on the first technique. Come up and come down. But the same principle is same throughout the whole procedure of training. So you come up and come down. Here we can see the procedure of the drilling technique on the first move. Spin your hand, creating a deflection action with the technique. So you come down, strike, and then same goes with the upper technique. It's more of a push forward. This is to develop your simultaneous block and attack, pressing forward your tank heel technique, pressing forward as in the picture. And the last technique of the three, Samui Wing. So from there you press down with the forearm going forward, pressing down. Now let's have a look at level 3 of the same exercise. Now with the action done, much closer, from a closer view, we can see the action of pushing the techniques into the person rather than just hitting his arm. Many people think this is just a blocking technique, but actually there's more behind these, just these 3 techniques alone, than just rather a blocking. It's not block, 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 as some people may think, but rather a technique to develop your drilling actions. So you deflect and push your power into the person rather than just blocking his particular technique or action that he makes. And much slower, you can see the drill done, comes forward. 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3. It's a very simple procedure, but there's a lot of skill behind these 3 techniques. You come down, push forward and come down again, drilling on your techniques. If we can see the first technique, or the high technique, you notice there's a push forward. This is against a deflection and same time hit. This can be done with the fingers, maybe the fingers going towards the eye, at the same time blocking his technique with the same hand.
You've seen 3 levels of this exercise. The first level is to hit the inside of the arm and the outside of here, these 2 points here, these 2 sides. This is the basic way of doing it, which most people see the exercise. The second level, you learn to twist their forearm. What this does is helps you to deflect an oncoming punch or to send more power into your technique. In the same second exercise, when you twist, you also push forward with your tank heel. This upsets the opponent's balance, at the same time pushes your technique in. The third exercise you've seen is also to twist, but simultaneously with the ability you push forward, deflecting and hitting at the same time. So here you have 3 different levels of this same exercise. As you progress through your training, you can incorporate the second and third level in your exercise training program.
Now we're going to take a look at the stance training. This is very important in the Southern Praying Mantis to develop your stance. There's a lot of tension around the waist. Bring up your buttocks, hips forward, claw the floor with your toes on the ground, press the tongue on the roof of the mouth and press your chin inwards. All this is to develop the firm foundation. So when you do your leg training or your any arm conditioning, it's going to greatly improve your resistance. There's a lot of hard Hei Gong, known as Nan Hei Gong. Nan means very hard, Hei Gong is breath power. A lot of squeezing around the waist, tension with the stomach, clawing on the floor, pulling in your legs, developing your thighs and calf. Squeeze the sides of your waist, pull up your buttocks. Again, we can see from the side there's a lot of tension involved in the legs. This will develop your legs, so when you do your conditioning with your legs, it makes it a lot easier and you already have a foundation to which you can work from, which is very important. Notice the clawing of the feet on the floor. Pull up the buttocks, squeeze the ribs and claw. And again, pull up. Now we see the leg and shin conditioning. Now from a close view we can see that you're striking the outside and the inside of the shin. This is good for kicking. Your shin has got to be tough, so when you release your kicks on your person, he goes down with one complete strike. However, the training begins here with conditioning exercises, and this is one such exercise we use for leg conditioning.
Before you start the leg conditioning exercise, I showed you a training with the steps to claw the legs of the floor to strengthen up your body. It's a part of the Nan Hei Gong, which means hard Hei Gong of the Jiaoba Praying Mantis system. When you step forward, you put the right leg forward, make a wide stance like this. I'll explain the reason behind that. Claw the toes of your foot on both sides. The calves and the thighs pull inwards like this. Okay? Simultaneously with those, make sure you grip your back side, pulling it upwards. Breathe deep to the lower point in the bladder, the abdomen here, dantian point. Also, claw the sides of your waist, tensing up round here. And claw the sides all together, as well as the neck. When you grind your teeth and grip the neck, like this. So you step forward or step back and grip. All simultaneously. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gripping. This will strengthen up the muscles in the legs, arms, stomach and throat. So when you do your conditioning exercise, such as the one we just showed, inside and outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, the point of contact is here, just this point here, and on the outside of the shin here, these 2 points here. This is important for doing this exercise. You shouldn't practice them simultaneously together. After you do conditioning with your legs, you go to your stance, and after you do your stance, you go to condition your legs. Because by doing this, you a base to stand on, builds up your legs, strengthens your legs, so when you do your conditioning exercise, the pain is not so much.
Now let's see a total body conditioning exercises which consist of 10 separate moves to develop every part of your body. Now let's see the whole procedure very slowly. First, crash with the outside of your leg, then the inside, then you step down, strike up, on the outside, strike down. From there you use Pak Jong, crash in palm, followed by a hammer hand attack, Gao Choi. Then the other person practices Gao Choi. Then you use a double palm strike to the ribs. Then the other person follows through with the same procedure, double palm to the ribs. You both take a half step outwards and hit with your hips. Again, the same procedure. Notice the outside of the leg is crashing. Inside. Both step down. Crash with the outside of your forearm. Then downwards. Then from there, you palm with the right hand in this case. Come over with the left Gao Choi, and then with the left Gao Choi with the other partner. Notice the Gao Choi as you've learned in the very second of the exercises. From there you do a double palm strike to the ribs, again double palm strike to the ribs on the other person. Then you step outwards and then hit with your ribs. And again, the whole procedure. First, 1, it consists of 10 movement exercise. 2 is the next technique, both with the legs. 3 is done with the arms. Then lower strike. Then from there, a palm strike with the left palm. Come over with the gaojoi or hammer hand technique. Then your other person does exactly the same technique, gaojoi. From there, a double palm. 8, this is the 8th technique. From there, come in, double palm, 9th technique, followed by a hip condition, which makes it 10. Again, start the whole procedure again. 1, 2, step down, 3, 4 is lower, 5 is the palm, 6 is the gaojoi, 7 is the gaojoi on the left side, then a forward double palm strike to the ribs. 8, 9 is the palm with the ribs, both step outwards, and 10 striking with your hip. Now let's take a look at that same exercise, this time from a different angle. Again, the same procedure. First with the legs, two hits with the legs, both one on the outside, then one on the inside. Then step down, crash with the arm, come in high first, then come in low. Palm strike with the left palm, followed by a gaojoi on both sides. Then a double palm strike to the ribs. And double palm strike with the ribs with the other person. Step outwards, crash with the hip. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Following it through with a continuous practice. This is to condition the hands and all 4 limbs, including your stomach. Gaojoi, hammer hand gaojoi, palm strike, and hip strike. It is advisable when practicing this exercise you find a partner of your own height. Otherwise, if you do it with someone very tall, when you do the hip crash, well, then he might be hitting your shoulder if you're very small. So get someone the same height as yourself to sort of match up the evenness in height and in sort of practicing with the hips crash and even the palm strikes. So you come out taking your step, side step, and then crash with the hip. Now let's see the whole procedure once more. using the same techniques. Now let's see the next exercise, conditioning with the shin. Using your steps with it as well. Very slowly, we now can see first both lift up the same leg and crash on the outside. This is to train you whilst going through your steps. Very important exercise again, crashing with the outside of the shin. Remember, it's to both lift up the same leg. And once more we can see. Practicing on the outside of your shin. And again we can see another exercise, this time with a metal bar. This can be rolled on the forearms as well as the legs, as in the picture. Now let's have a look at all the different conditioning exercises. First, the Pokjong, palm striking, using the heel of your palm. Practice this approximately 5 to 10 minutes every day to develop the firmness of your palm, including single side. Gaucho, very famous technique of the Southern Praying Mantis system. There is another video out at present with this particular technique showing you how to use the Gaucho and how to strengthen up the Phoenix Eye Fist, and using the Phoenix Eye Fist for self-defense and vital point striking. Don't forget this important exercise, found in a lot of styles of martial arts. Again, different levels are shown. Just try to relax your arms when practicing this. And again, you can see the second level coming through. Notice the drill, pay attention to that, that's very important. And the third one, notice the thrusting of the fingers forward into your opponent rather than just blocking. Stance gripping, practicing this along with all your other techniques, developing your footwork, clawing on the ground, developing your legs, forearms, shoulders, stomach, neck, especially neck, known as halgong. Press the tongue up the roof of the mouth, grip the floor with your feet, squeeze the waist with your fingers. Crashing leg, another important exercise, both sides of the shin. You can keep your balance by holding your partner's shoulder and you can hold yours. The 10 conditioning exercise, very important. Again, total body conditioning. Again, practice this when you've gone through more of the others. Be careful when you're doing your palming on your stomach. And the conditioning exercise with the steps, which is very important. Using your steps while conditioning your calf.
So you've seen some of the conditioning exercises on this video. These conditioning exercises are taken from the 36 different conditioning exercises of the Jalga Premana system. It's very important that you do your conditioning exercises, but it's also most important that you practice some of your forms as well. For instance, the first form tape, called Sambo Jin 3-step arrow punch, helps you to strengthen up your body, so when you do your conditioning exercises, the pain is not so much, and it's quite bearable in the beginning. But so plenty of first form is advisable in certain aspects of conditioning before you do the conditioning exercises. Every part of the body is used in the Mantra system, and so therefore we have to condition that particular area, namely elbows, hands, shoulders, hips, knees, feet, etc. So you've seen some of the conditioning exercises, but take it easy on the first steps. But most of all, if you have the first form video, then that will give you the basic ground in order to build up your strength in your arms, your muscles and your ligaments. So when you do your conditioning exercises, it becomes a little bit bearable other than receiving too much pain.